Imagine a life where the constant noise of daily chaos no longer controls your peace of mind, where no matter what challenges come your way, you remain calm, focused, and resilient. Have you ever wondered how some individuals seem to navigate life's turbulence with such grace and clarity? The answer lies in a philosophy that has withstood the test of time: Stoicism. Rooted in ancient wisdom, Stoicism offers practical tools to help us find inner peace and mental clarity in today's fast-paced world. One of its most profound practices is the use of affirmations, simple yet powerful statements that align our thoughts with virtuous actions and empower us to embrace life with courage and wisdom. In this video, we'll explore 20 transformative Stoic affirmations that have the potential to reshape your perspective and guide you toward a life of harmony and strength. Each affirmation is not just a phrase but a stepping stone to mastering your mindset and unlocking a deeper sense of purpose. Stay with us as we uncover the timeless wisdom that can bring clarity to your thoughts and peace to your soul. Now turning to the first affirmation, I control how I react to what happens to me. This affirmation embodies one of the core teachings of Stoicism, which is rooted in the idea that while we cannot dictate what happens around us, we hold complete power over how we respond to it. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminded us that it is not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. This means our reactions are entirely within our control, no matter the circumstance. Imagine someone facing harsh criticism at work. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, they pause, take a breath, and choose to respond with calmness and composure. This act of restraint demonstrates the ability to govern oneself and not be ruled by external events. By practicing this, we transform potentially stressful situations into opportunities for growth. It is like being a sturdy rock standing firm as waves crash against it. The waves may come, but the rock remains unmoved. This mindset brings a profound sense of peace as we realize that true control lies within ourselves, not in the unpredictable world around us. As you reflect on this affirmation, think about a moment in your life where you reacted impulsively. How might the outcome have changed if you had taken time to step back and choose your response wisely? This practice takes effort, but with consistency, it can become second nature, empowering you to navigate life with grace and strength. Now turning to the second affirmation, I am not disturbed by things, but by the views I take of them. This profound insight, drawn from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, challenges us to examine the way our perception shapes our experience of the world. Events in themselves hold no power to unsettle us. It is our interpretation of these events that determines our emotional state. For example, consider two individuals faced with the same obstacle, such as a missed opportunity. One might see it as a devastating failure, while the other views it as a chance to learn and grow. The event remains the same, yet their differing perspectives lead to entirely different outcomes. It is like encountering a boulder in your path. One person may see it as a barrier blocking their way, while another sees it as a stepping stone to climb higher. When we shift our perspective and choose to interpret challenges as lessons or opportunities, we unlock a deeper sense of peace and resilience. Imagine a scenario where plans suddenly change, leaving you feeling frustrated. Instead of letting this frustration take over, you could reframe the situation by seeing it as an opportunity to adapt and practice patience. This change in mindset can transform tension into tranquility. Reflect on a recent moment when you felt disturbed by an event. How might altering your view of it have changed your experience? By training your mind to view situations through a lens of growth and understanding, you can rewrite the narrative of your life and find clarity even in chaos. Now turning to the third affirmation, I will focus on what I can control and release what I cannot. This principle lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy and is beautifully encapsulated by the concept of the dichotomy of control. It teaches us to draw a clear line between what is within our power and what is beyond it. For instance, you can prepare thoroughly for a job interview by practicing your responses and researching the role, but you cannot control the final decision of the employer. Focusing on the former, what you can influence brings a sense of empowerment and calm, while fixating on the latter, the uncontrollable, invites stress and anxiety. Imagine holding two boxes in your hands. In one box are the things you can control, your actions, your words, your habits. In the other box are the things you cannot control, other people's opinions, unexpected outcomes, or even the weather. The key is to invest your energy into the contents of the first box while setting down the second. Picture a student preparing for an important exam. Their responsibility lies in studying diligently and managing their time effectively, but the final grade depends on many variables outside their control. By concentrating on their efforts and releasing their attachment to the result, they can approach the situation with clarity and reduce unnecessary worry. Reflect on a moment in your life when you felt overwhelmed by a situation. How much of it was rooted in uncontrollable elements? Shifting your focus to what is actionable allows you to reclaim peace of mind and navigate life with greater ease. This mindset is like planting seeds in a garden. You can tend to the soil, water the plants, and provide sunlight, but you cannot force the flowers to bloom. By letting go of what lies beyond your influence, you free yourself to live with intention and tranquility. Now turning to the fourth affirmation, I accept the present moment as it is. This reflects a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, the art of embracing reality without resistance. The wisdom of Seneca reminds us to flow with the current of life, just as a river effortlessly moves around rocks in its path. Consider this: life often presents unexpected detours, like a sudden change in plans or an unforeseen obstacle. Imagine planning a perfect outdoor picnic only to be met with rain. While frustration may arise, acceptance allows you to pivot, cherishing a cozy indoor gathering instead. Resisting what already is only adds to our discomfort, while acceptance frees us to adapt and find peace. Reflect on a moment when you faced an unanticipated change. Did resisting it make the situation harder, or did accepting it bring a sense of relief? By meeting the present moment with openness, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life and release the mental burden of struggling against reality. Acceptance does not mean passive resignation. It means fully engaging with what is, here and now. Think of a tree standing firm in a storm. It bends with the wind but does not break. It accepts the conditions it cannot control and continues to thrive. In the same way, when we let go of resistance and meet life as it unfolds, we gain clarity and peace. Embrace this moment as it is and notice how it brings a sense of calm and balance to your life. Now turning to the fifth affirmation, I will act with virtue in all that I do. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the belief that living virtuously is the greatest good. This means aligning our thoughts, words, and actions with principles that reflect our highest moral character. The Stoics identified four cardinal virtues as the foundation of a virtuous life: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Wisdom guides us to make sound decisions rooted in reason and understanding. Justice calls us to treat others fairly and to uphold what is right. Courage empowers us to face adversity with strength and resolve, while temperance encourages balance and self-control, ensuring that we remain centered in our actions. Imagine a scenario where someone is tempted to compromise their principles, such as feeling pressured by colleagues to engage in dishonest behavior at work. Acting with virtue means choosing integrity over convenience, even when it is difficult. Picture this person calmly but firmly standing by their values, explaining their choice with clarity and respect. This act of courage and justice not only preserves their own moral integrity, but also inspires others to consider what is truly right. When we act with virtue, we align ourselves with universal principles that transcend personal gain or fleeting desires. Reflect on how you can incorporate these virtues into your daily life. Can you approach your decisions with wisdom, stand for fairness, show courage in challenging moments, and exercise discipline when faced with temptations? By committing to act with virtue in all that we do, we cultivate a sense of purpose, integrity, and inner peace that anchors us even in the most turbulent of times. Moving forward to the sixth affirmation, I am resilient in the face of adversity. Resilience is a cornerstone of Stoic practice, empowering us to endure and thrive despite life's inevitable challenges. The Stoics believed that adversity is not only unavoidable but also an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Seneca often spoke of the importance of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, which involves mentally preparing for difficulties before they arise. By imagining potential setbacks and rehearsing how we might respond, we fortify ourselves against fear and panic, transforming obstacles into stepping stones. Consider the story of someone who loses their job unexpectedly. While the initial shock may be overwhelming, they choose to face this challenge with resilience. Instead of succumbing to despair, they reflect on their strengths, explore new opportunities, and even acquire new skills, emerging stronger and more adaptable than before. Resilience is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to rise each time we fall. This Stoic approach reminds us that we are not defined by what happens to us, but by how we respond. As you navigate your own challenges, ask yourself, how can I prepare my mind to remain steady when adversity strikes? Can I view setbacks as chances to grow rather than as insurmountable barriers? Each moment of resilience strengthens our character and teaches us to approach life with courage and determination, no matter how turbulent the storm. With the next phase of the journey in sight, we arrive at the seventh affirmation. I will find clarity in silence and reflection. The Stoics understood that true wisdom and peace come from within, which is why they emphasize the practice of daily reflection. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often turned to his journal to process his thoughts, evaluate his actions, and align himself with his values. Reflection is a space where we can pause, step back from the noise of the world, and reconnect with what truly matters. In our fast-paced lives, moments of silence are rare but invaluable. Whether it is sitting quietly at dawn with a notebook, taking a leisurely walk in nature, or simply spending a few minutes in thoughtful stillness, reflection brings clarity to our minds and steadiness to our emotions. To begin a habit of reflection, you might start by asking yourself simple but profound questions, such as, what did I do well today? Where can I improve tomorrow? Am I living in alignment with my values? These moments of introspection are not about judgment, but about understanding and growth. Imagine an individual who ends each day by jotting down their thoughts and experiences in a journal. Over time, they notice patterns in their behavior, identify what brings them peace or stress, and gain a deeper sense of self-awareness. This clarity enables them to make better decisions and approach life with greater confidence and intention. In silence and reflection, we discover the simplicity and beauty of our own thoughts, unclouded by distractions. Stepping into this quiet space each day allows us to reset and regain focus, ensuring that we move forward with purpose and clarity. As you think about incorporating this practice into your own life, ask yourself, how can I create space for silence and reflection in my daily routine? What insights might arise when I allow myself to pause and truly listen to the voice within? With the next phase of the journey in sight, we turn to the eighth affirmation, I am grateful for what I have. Gratitude lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy, serving as a foundation for inner peace and contentment. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, reminded us to cherish what we already possess rather than constantly longing for what we lack. He advised, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. This perspective helps us shift our focus away from endless desires and toward the blessings that are already present in our lives. Imagine the simple joy of holding a warm cup of tea on a cold morning, or the comfort of sharing laughter with a close friend. these moments, often overlooked, are treasures of daily life. When we pause to recognize and appreciate them, we open ourselves to a sense of fulfillment that external possessions could never provide. A practical way to cultivate gratitude is by starting a gratitude journal, where each day you jot down 3 things you are thankful for. Perhaps it is the sound of rain that soothes your mind, the kindness of a stranger who held the door open, or the support of a loved one during a difficult time. By consistently reflecting on these moments, we train our minds to see abundance rather than scarcity. Gratitude is not only about what we have, but also about who we become. A grateful heart breeds resilience, allowing us to face life's challenges with a sense of calm and perspective. As you practice gratitude, consider asking yourself, what gifts have I been given today, however small? How can I honor those gifts with a spirit of appreciation? By embracing gratitude, we unlock a profound tranquility that carries us through the complexities of life with grace. Moving forward, we arrive at the 9th affirmation: I will practice temperance in my desires. At the core of Stoicism lies the virtue of temperance, the ability to exercise self-restraint and moderation as a pathway to a balanced and harmonious life. The Stoics recognized that unchecked desires often lead to chaos, dissatisfaction, and a loss of clarity. By practicing temperance, we regain control over our impulses and create space for true contentment. Imagine how often we find ourselves scrolling endlessly through social media, chasing the next dopamine hit, or indulging in habits that momentarily satisfy but leave us feeling empty. Temperance helps us step back, assess these cravings, and realign our actions with our deeper values. For example, setting boundaries on screen time can create mental clarity and free up energy for meaningful pursuits. Think about the simple habit of pausing before making a purchase and asking yourself, do I truly need this, or am I acting out of impulse? This small act of reflection builds discipline and reduces unnecessary distractions in our lives. Temperance is not about denial, but about finding a sustainable middle ground. It allows us to enjoy life's pleasures without becoming enslaved to them. Consider living with intentional simplicity, focusing on what truly adds value to your life rather than accumulating excess. A minimalist approach to possessions can foster a sense of freedom and lightness, leaving room for experiences and connections that nurture the soul. As you practice temperance, reflect on this question: are my desires leading me closer to peace or pulling me further away? By cultivating self-mastery through temperance, we unlock the ability to navigate life with greater clarity, balance, and inner strength. Now turning to the 10th affirmation: I will not fear the future or regret the past. This Stoic principle reminds us that true peace is found by living fully in the present moment. The past, with all its mistakes and triumphs, is unchangeable, and the future, no matter how much we plan, remains uncertain. By anchoring ourselves in the present, we free our minds from the burden of time-bound anxieties that rob us of clarity and joy. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, warned against borrowing trouble from the future, advising us to focus on what is happening now rather than dwelling on what might or might not come. Think about how often we replay past events in our minds, agonizing over things we cannot undo, or project ourselves into an uncertain future consumed by what-ifs. Both states distance us from the only reality we truly possess, the present. Picture someone who has spent months dreading an important decision, only to find the actual moment far less daunting than their imagination made it out to be. This highlights the fact that our fears of the unknown are often exaggerated, draining our energy unnecessarily. To embody this affirmation, consider a practical exercise. The next time you catch yourself worrying about what lies ahead or regretting a past choice, pause and take a deep breath. Remind yourself that your power lies in this very moment. For example, instead of fearing the uncertainty of a job interview tomorrow, focus on preparing thoughtfully today. Instead of regretting a missed opportunity yesterday, Channel your energy into making the most of the opportunities available right now. Each moment lived with intention is a step closer to calm and clarity. The past has no power over us unless we give it control. The future is shaped by the actions we take today, so why not fully commit to the one place where life truly happens here and now? This affirmation is a call to release the chains of time and embrace the freedom of presence. Moving forward, let us now shift to the 11th affirmation. I am a part of something greater than myself. This affirmation captures the Stoic principle of cosmopolitanism, the idea that we are all interconnected as parts of a larger whole, the universe. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on this perspective, reminding us that as individuals, we are like limbs of a single body, each contributing to the harmony of the greater whole. By embracing this, we cultivate humility, recognizing that our actions and choices reverberate far beyond our personal lives, affecting the interconnected web of humanity. Consider how the simple act of volunteering in your local community not only helps others but also brings a profound sense of purpose and belonging to your own life. Or think about how a smile shared with a stranger can uplift both their day and yours, creating a ripple effect that fosters positivity in unexpected places. When we see ourselves as part of something bigger, it softens self-centeredness and opens the door to collaboration and mutual respect. Imagine looking up at a clear, starry sky and realizing that each tiny point of light is part of an intricate, vast cosmos. This same interconnectedness exists among people, and just like the stars, our individual contributions, small as they may seem, help light up the whole. To put this affirmation into practice, start by acknowledging the contributions of others in your life. Express gratitude to a colleague who helped you meet a deadline or lend a hand to a neighbor in need. These small gestures strengthen the bonds that unite us all. Remember, the Stoics believed that working for the common good is not just a noble goal but a path to lasting inner peace. By acting with the awareness that we are all threads in the same fabric, we embrace a mindset that uplifts ourselves and those around us. This affirmation encourages us to step beyond the boundaries of individualism and explore the profound clarity and tranquility that come from seeing ourselves as essential parts of a greater existence. As we build on this sense of connection, let us now turn our attention to, with the next phase of the journey in sight, let us explore the 12th affirmation. I will meet challenges with courage and determination. At the heart of Stoicism lies the virtue of courage, a steadfast commitment to face adversity with strength and purpose. The Stoics teach us that difficulties are not to be feared but embraced as opportunities to grow and demonstrate resilience. Consider the story of Cato the Younger, a Roman statesman celebrated for his unwavering integrity. Even when surrounded by corruption and immense pressure to conform, Cato remained resolute, standing firm in his principles and demonstrating that true courage often means going against the tide. Each of us encounters moments where our values are tested, whether it is resisting peer pressure, standing up for what is right, or making difficult choices in the face of uncertainty. Imagine a person climbing a steep mountain step by step, fueled not by an absence of fear but by a determination that overcomes it. This is the essence of courage, not the absence of fear but the willingness to act despite it. To embody this affirmation, start small. The next time you face a challenge, pause and remind yourself that every obstacle is an opportunity to display strength and grow. Perhaps it is speaking up during a meeting, pursuing a daunting goal, or simply finding the endurance to navigate life's daily stresses. Each instance, no matter how minor, is a chance to build your courage. Remember, the Stoics saw challenges as a way to cultivate inner fortitude, and by meeting them with determination, we align ourselves with the highest virtues. As we reflect on courage, let us now prepare to delve into. As the next challenge unfolds, let us reflect on the 13th affirmation. I will not be swayed by the opinions of others. Central to Stoicism is the belief that true freedom lies in living according to our own reason and values, rather than bending to the judgments of others. Marcus Aurelius reminds us in his writings that we must not allow ourselves to become enslaved by external validation. After all, the opinions of others are fleeting and often rooted in their own struggles, not in a clear understanding of who we truly are. Picture a lone tree standing firm in an open field, weathering all seasons. Its strength and purpose come not from the approval of the wind or rain, but from its deeply rooted foundation. Similarly, when we stay true to our principles, we anchor ourselves in inner freedom. Imagine someone declining to follow a crowd making a harmful or unethical decision, even when it means facing criticism or isolation. This is how we honor our values and cultivate genuine self-respect. The next time you find yourself hesitating because of what others might think, pause and ask, does this align with my values? Is this choice true to my reasoned judgment? By letting go of the need for constant validation, you liberate yourself from the endless cycle of approval seeking and step into a life guided by integrity. Remember, the Stoics teach us that it is not the crowd's applause we should seek, but the quiet confidence that comes from living authentically. With this perspective in mind, let us now turn our focus to. As the next phase of the journey comes into focus, let us reflect on the 14th affirmation. I will find peace in simplicity. The Stoic philosophers, such as Seneca, often emphasize the profound tranquility that comes from living a simple life. In a world that constantly urges us to accumulate more possessions, more commitments, more distractions, it is easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Simplicity, as the Stoics teach, is not about deprivation but about making space for what brings genuine fulfillment. Imagine a cluttered room where every surface is covered with items, leaving little room to move or breathe. Now picture that same room cleared of excess, with only a few cherished objects that bring joy. Just as physical decluttering creates a serene environment, so too can mental decluttering free us from the chaos of overthinking and unnecessary worries. Consider the act of pausing each day to enjoy something simple, like a quiet moment with a warm cup of tea or a peaceful walk in nature. These are the moments when life feels richest, not because of elaborate plans or possessions, but because they remind us of the beauty in stillness and presence. Seneca reminds us that happiness lies in needing less, not in acquiring more. By focusing on what is essential, we reduce the mental noise that often clouds our clarity. Ask yourself, what can I let go of today, physically or mentally, to create more peace in my life? By simplifying, we align ourselves with nature's rhythm, embracing the calm that comes from living intentionally rather than reactively. As we hold this affirmation close, our journey continues toward. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us embrace the 15th affirmation. I will view setbacks as opportunities for growth. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, taught us a powerful truth: obstacles are not roadblocks but stepping stones. The essence of this affirmation lies in the idea that challenges are not meant to hinder us but to shape us into stronger, wiser individuals. Imagine a tiny seed buried beneath layers of hard soil. At first, it seems impossible for it to push through, yet with perseverance it sprouts, breaking through the earth to reach the sunlight. Similarly, our struggles often contain the seeds of our greatest growth. Consider a time when something in your life didn't go as planned, perhaps a missed opportunity or a difficult failure. In the moment, it may have felt like an end, but upon reflection, it may have been a turning point, redirecting you to a path that ultimately served you better. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on this in his writings, reminding us that even adversity is part of nature's design. The fire of difficulty does not destroy us, it forges us. By reframing setbacks as lessons, we transform frustration into clarity and despair into determination. The next time you encounter a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience refine my character? Like the sprouting plant that rises through the cracks, every obstacle carries the potential to help us grow stronger and reach toward our better selves. Let this affirmation guide you to see struggles not as barriers but as opportunities to rise. As we hold this perspective, let us journey forward into. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us embrace the 16th affirmation. I will remain calm in the face of provocation. This principle is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and a timeless lesson for navigating the turbulence of life. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic thinkers, likened maintaining composure to being like a rock in the sea, unshaken by the relentless crashing of waves. The waves represent provocations, be it criticism, anger, or conflict, and the rock symbolizes the strength of a calm and steady mind. Imagine encountering a situation where someone's words or actions provoke frustration. Perhaps it is an unkind remark or an unfair judgment. While the natural reaction might be to lash out or defend yourself, the Stoic approach teaches otherwise. Pause, breathe, remind yourself that you cannot control the actions or words of others, only how you choose to respond. Picture a serene lake on a still day, its surface unbroken by ripples reflecting the sky above. This is the mindset we aim to cultivate. Responding with kindness or choosing silence in the face of rudeness disarms hostility and shields your inner peace. It is an act of self-mastery, a refusal to surrender your serenity to external forces. Think of a scenario where you stayed calm during a tense interaction. How much better did you feel afterward compared to when you let emotions take over? By practicing this affirmation, you build resilience against provocation and strengthen your ability to act with intention and purpose. When provoked, remind yourself of Epictetus's wisdom. Be the steady rock, unyielding to the waves. Let your calmness be your strength and your composure your guide. As we hold this affirmation close, let us journey forward into. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us embrace the 17th affirmation. I will align my thoughts and actions with reason. This affirmation reflects a fundamental Stoic principle, the power of rationality as a compass for living a virtuous and harmonious life. The Stoics believed that reason is what sets us apart as human beings, enabling us to navigate life's complexities with wisdom and clarity. Imagine being faced with a choice that stirs strong emotions, perhaps anger, fear, or even excitement. In such moments, it is easy to act impulsively, driven by fleeting feelings rather than thoughtful judgment. The Stoic approach calls for a pause. Take a moment to step back and examine the situation objectively. Ask yourself questions like, what is within my control here? What would a wise decision look like? What are the potential consequences of my actions? By grounding your decisions in reason rather than emotion, you not only avoid regret but also act in alignment with your values. Consider a scenario where you received critical feedback at work. Your initial reaction might be defensive or dismissive. However, by pausing and reasoning through the feedback, you can identify areas for growth and respond constructively. This shift transforms a challenge into an opportunity for self-improvement. Picture a thinker deep in contemplation, weighing options carefully before taking action. This is the essence of aligning thoughts and actions with reason. Pausing before reacting, embracing mindful decision-making, and reflecting on your higher goals all contribute to living deliberately and purposefully. As Marcus Aurelius advised, aim to be free of passion but full of love, prioritizing rational thought while maintaining kindness and integrity. Through the practice of this affirmation, you cultivate self-control, clarity, and the ability to act not out of impulse but with intention. Let your reason guide you toward virtuous action, like steady gears turning in unison, ensuring balance and harmony in everything you do. With this affirmation in mind, let us journey forward into. With the next phase of the journey in sight, let us embrace the 18th affirmation. I will embrace change as part of life. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the acknowledgement of impermanence, that everything in life is in a constant state of change. Marcus Aurelius wrote that just as the leaves of a tree fall and are replaced by new growth, so too are the events and circumstances of our lives ever changing. Rather than resisting this natural flow, the Stoics teach us to accept it with grace. Imagine being faced with an unexpected change, like moving to a new city or transitioning into a new job. The initial reaction might be fear or resistance, as the comfort of familiarity gives way to the uncertainty of the unknown. However, by aligning with the Stoic belief in accepting change as a natural part of existence, you can reframe the situation. Instead of focusing on what you have lost, consider what opportunities this change might bring. Allow the flow of life to guide you, much like a river that bends around rocks and continues forward. Picture someone adjusting to a major life shift, like leaving their childhood home. Though sadness might arise, they choose to focus on the growth and independence this new chapter offers. By embracing the impermanent nature of life, they find peace, knowing that every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. The Stoics encourage us to view change not as an adversary but as a teacher, offering lessons in adaptability and resilience. When faced with uncertainty or loss, ask yourself, what lesson can I learn from this? How can I grow from this experience? By shifting your perspective, you move from resistance to acceptance, from fear to trust in the natural rhythm of life. As seasons change, as rivers flow, life evolves, and so do we. The wisdom of Stoicism reminds us that by embracing change, we find clarity and serenity in the midst of what might otherwise feel like chaos. With this affirmation guiding our mindset, let us move onward into moving forward. We arrive at the 19th affirmation, I am content with less. Central to Stoic philosophy is the idea that true happiness is not found in external possessions, but in cultivating inner wealth. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, wrote extensively about the joy of needing little. He believed that by reducing our dependence on material items, we could free ourselves from the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. Imagine walking into a cluttered room filled with unnecessary objects that no longer serve a purpose. It feels overwhelming, doesn't it? Now, contrast this with the lightness and clarity of a simple, organized space, one that holds only what truly matters. The relief and sense of peace are almost immediate. This is the essence of contentment through simplicity. Consider how practicing voluntary simplicity can lead to profound happiness. Take, for example, someone who chooses to downsize their possessions, keeping just what they genuinely need. Instead of chasing the latest gadgets or trends, they focus on meaningful experiences, relationships, and personal growth. By letting go of the excess, they uncover a deeper sense of fulfillment that material wealth alone could never provide. Another example might be setting boundaries with activities like online shopping. Imagine someone consciously deciding to buy only items that add true value to their lives. Over time, they notice how much freer they feel, not just financially, but mentally and emotionally. This deliberate practice of moderation aligns beautifully with the Stoic virtue of temperance, which encourages balance and self-control in all areas of life. In a world that often equates success with accumulation, the Stoics remind us that less is more. They teach us to shift our focus inward, recognizing that contentment stems from appreciating what we already have. Ask yourself, what truly brings me joy? What possessions or habits can I release to live more intentionally? By embracing this affirmation, we simplify our lives, clear the mental clutter, and reconnect with what truly matters. As we reflect on this powerful reminder, let us carry this mindset forward into, with the next phase of the journey in sight, let us embrace the 20th affirmation, I will treat others with kindness and understanding. At the heart of Stoicism lies the principle of compassion and fairness toward all beings. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and renowned Stoic philosopher, often reminded himself to work for the common good, highlighting that we are all part of a greater whole. Imagine encountering someone who is rude or impatient, a situation we have all faced. Instead of reacting with anger, what if we pause and choose kindness instead? Perhaps that person is struggling with challenges we cannot see. By responding with understanding, we not only diffuse tension but also strengthen our own inner peace. One beautiful example of this is offering a simple act of kindness to a stranger, such as holding a door open, sharing a genuine smile, or helping someone carry a heavy bag. These small gestures, though seemingly minor, create ripples of goodwill that can profoundly impact others' days. On a larger scale, consider individuals who dedicate their time to volunteering, helping those in need, or simply listening without judgment when someone needs to talk. These acts of compassion not only uplift others but also foster a deep sense of fulfillment within ourselves. The Stoics believed that we are interconnected, like branches of the same tree or threads in a vast tapestry. When we harm others, we harm ourselves. When we help others, we elevate the collective good. This affirmation invites us to look past our differences and recognize the shared humanity in us all. Ask yourself, how can I approach others with more empathy? What small act of kindness can I offer today? By committing to kindness and understanding, we align our actions with the Stoic ideal of virtue. In doing so, we create a more harmonious world around us while cultivating peace within. Let this final affirmation serve as a guiding principle, reminding us that even in the smallest moments, kindness has the power to transform. Now turning to the path of mastery, let us dive deeper into the first affirmation. I control how I react to what happens to me. This principle is at the core of Stoicism, reminding us that while we cannot dictate external events, we hold ultimate power over our internal responses. Modern psychology echoes this timeless wisdom through approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy, which teaches us to identify and challenge negative thought patterns. By reframing our thinking, we can transform our emotional responses to align with reason rather than impulsive reactions. For example, imagine being stuck in heavy traffic, a situation that often triggers frustration. Instead of focusing on the delay, consider it an opportunity to practice patience or listen to a favorite audiobook. This small mental shift turns a stressful moment into one of productive calm. Another simple technique is the pause, a deep breath, or a quick mental count before reacting. When faced with criticism, for instance, pausing allows us to respond thoughtfully rather than defensively. Over time, these practices train the mind to act with clarity and composure. The Stoics also employed the concept of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of potential challenges. By envisioning possible obstacles in advance, we prepare our minds to respond calmly and effectively when they arise. Think of an athlete visualizing a race, preparing not just for smooth stretches but also for hurdles along the way. This mental rehearsal builds resilience and sharpens our reactions. Mastering our responses is not about suppressing emotions but about channeling them constructively. It is the ability to choose how we act even when life tests us. Ask yourself, when was the last time I allowed an external event to disrupt my peace? How might I have responded differently? By practicing control over our reactions, we unlock a profound sense of inner freedom, a freedom that allows us to navigate life's complexities with grace, clarity, and unwavering strength. Now turning to practical acceptance, we explore the fourth affirmation. I accept the present moment as it is. Acceptance, in the context of Stoicism, does not mean passivity or resignation, but rather a powerful acknowledgement of reality as it stands. This mindset empowers us to respond with wisdom instead of resistance. One effective way to practice acceptance is through mindfulness exercises. By focusing on the present moment, we ground ourselves in what is real and tangible, rather than becoming lost in worries about the future or regrets about the past. A simple mindfulness technique is to close your eyes, take slow, deep breaths, and notice the sensations around you, the warmth of sunlight, the feel of the chair beneath you, or the rhythm of your breathing. This practice anchors you to the present, easing mental tension and promoting clarity. Another practical approach is to use grounding techniques, which involve intentionally connecting with your physical surroundings to calm your mind during overwhelming situations. One such method is the 5 senses exercise. Identify 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This simple yet effective method helps you remain present and centered in the face of chaos. Acceptance can also be strengthened by reframing how we view challenging situations. Instead of resisting unexpected changes like a cancelled plan or a missed opportunity, consider the Stoic concept of amor fati, or the love of fate. View such occurrences not as hindrances but as opportunities to embrace life's unpredictability and grow from the experience. Think of a river flowing naturally around rocks in its path. It does not stop or resist, it simply adapts, maintaining its course. Similarly, we can learn to flow with life's currents rather than struggling against them. Ask yourself, how often do I resist moments I cannot change? How might my well-being improve if I chose acceptance instead? By actively practicing acceptance, we cultivate a sense of calm and clarity, allowing us to face life's ever-changing nature with resilience and grace. Moving forward, let us delve deeper into building resilience daily as we expand on the 6th affirmation. I am resilient in the face of adversity. Resilience, within the context of Stoicism, is not an inherent trait but a skill that can be cultivated through deliberate practice. One effective habit to foster resilience is gratitude journaling. By setting aside a few moments each day to note 3 things you are genuinely grateful for, you shift your focus from what is lacking to the abundance already present in your life. This practice rewires your perspective, enabling you to approach challenges with a mindset of appreciation rather than despair. For instance, you might express gratitude for a supportive friend, a peaceful moment in nature, or even the opportunity to learn from a mistake. Over time, this habit strengthens your ability to find light even in the darkest circumstances. Another powerful method for building resilience is through physical endurance training. Activities such as running, hiking, or yoga not only enhance your physical strength but also reinforce mental fortitude. When you push through discomfort during exercise, you train your mind to endure and persevere, mirroring the Stoic approach to facing life's hardships. For example, completing an intense workout despite initial reluctance can remind you of your capacity to overcome unpleasant situations, reinforcing your inner strength. Additionally, consider the Stoic practice of voluntary discomfort. By intentionally embracing small, manageable challenges like taking a cold shower or fasting for a day, you prepare yourself for greater adversities. Such exercises remind you that discomfort is temporary and that you have the power to endure. Each time you navigate these controlled difficulties, you build a reserve of resilience that fortifies you for unexpected life challenges. Reflect on this. How often do you actively cultivate resilience in your daily routines? Imagine the strength you could gain by combining gratitude, physical training, and voluntary discomfort into your life. By consistently practicing these habits, you equip yourself to meet life's adversities with unwavering courage and composure. Now turning to the next affirmation, let us expand on temperance as freedom by exploring how this practice liberates us from over-attachment and leads to true inner peace. Temperance, a cornerstone of Stoicism, is the virtue of moderation. It encourages us to find balance in our desires and actions, preventing us from being controlled by excess or indulgence. Imagine someone who routinely spends hours scrolling through social media, feeling drained and dissatisfied afterward. By practicing temperance, they might set intentional boundaries, such as limiting their screen time to 30 minutes a day, and instead use that time to engage in activities that nurture their well-being, like reading a book or connecting with loved ones. In doing so, they reclaim their time and energy, experiencing a sense of freedom from the pull of endless distractions. Temperance also extends to material possessions. Consider the story of a person who once sought happiness through acquiring the latest gadgets and luxury items, only to feel an unrelenting void each time the novelty wore off. By choosing to live simply and appreciating what they already have, they discover contentment that no purchase could ever provide. This shift from accumulation to appreciation frees them from the cycle of wanting, allowing them to focus on what truly matters. Another compelling example is how temperance can transform our relationship with food. Instead of eating to excess or relying on comfort foods to cope with stress, practicing mindful moderation can help us savor meals and make healthier choices, leading to both physical and mental well-being. Each small act of temperance strengthens our ability to resist impulses and align our actions with our values. Reflect on this. Where in your life could temperance bring you freedom? By embracing this virtue, you release the hold that over-attachment has on you, step into a life of balance, and gain clarity over what truly enriches your soul. Temperance reminds us that less is often more, and through moderation, we find the space to grow into the best version of ourselves. As the next phase of the journey comes into focus, let us delve into the art of simplicity and how this timeless practice of living lightly continues to resonate today. Simplicity has long been a guiding principle for Stoic philosophers, who understood that true contentment lies not in abundance but in appreciating sufficiency. Consider the life of Epictetus, a Stoic thinker who lived humbly, owning little more than a simple cloak and a wooden staff. Despite his modest means, his teachings continue to inspire countless people, proving that material wealth is not a prerequisite for a rich and meaningful life. Seneca, another prominent Stoic, often warned against the illusion of happiness derived from luxury, emphasizing that tranquility is found within, not in possessions. His personal letters reveal how he periodically practiced voluntary simplicity, refraining from indulgences to remind himself of what he truly needed to thrive. Now reflect on how this ancient wisdom finds echoes in modern minimalism, a lifestyle that champions decluttering and intentional living. Imagine someone overwhelmed by the chaos of their overfilled home, where every corner is packed with unused items and sentimental clutter. By adopting a minimalist approach, they might begin by donating items they no longer use and thoughtfully organizing their space. The result often feels like a mental reset. Less visual noise creates room for clarity and focus. Another example is the rise of capsule wardrobes, where individuals limit their clothing choices to a few versatile pieces. This not only saves time and money, but also reduces decision fatigue, enhancing mental clarity. Practicing simplicity is not just about material possessions, though. It extends to freeing ourselves from unnecessary commitments, toxic relationships, or excessive multitasking. By simplifying our schedules and focusing on what truly enriches our lives, we find more time for meaningful pursuits like building stronger relationships or exploring creative passions. Simplicity teaches us that by letting go of excess, we gain the freedom to fully embrace the present moment. As you reflect on this affirmation, consider what you might release to create space for peace and clarity in your own life. By embracing simplicity, you align with a time-honored tradition that reveals the beauty of living with less yet gaining so much more. Now turning to the affirmation of viewing setbacks as opportunities for growth, let us explore how moments of struggle often lay the groundwork for profound personal transformation. Picture someone facing the loss of their job, a setback that initially feels overwhelming and hopeless. Yet, in reflecting on this challenge, they discover an opportunity to pivot toward a career aligned with their passions, perhaps starting their own small business or pursuing a long-dreamed creative endeavor. What initially seemed like failure becomes a catalyst for deep fulfillment and success. Similarly, consider the story of Thomas Edison, who famously declared that he did not fail but rather found thousands of ways that did not work as he persisted in inventing the light bulb. His resilience turned each setback into a stepping stone, ultimately leading to one of the most transformative creations in human history. These examples echo Marcus Aurelius's insight that obstacles are not roadblocks but rather the path itself, encouraging us to find strength and wisdom through adversity. On a smaller but equally meaningful scale, think about a student struggling with difficult exam results. Instead of giving in to despair, they analyze their mistakes, adjust their study habits, and improve their time management. Through perseverance, they not only achieve their academic goals, but also develop discipline and confidence that extends beyond the classroom. Stoicism teaches us to reframe challenges as opportunities to build character, much like a blacksmith refines metal by fire. The discomfort is temporary, yet the growth and strength gained are enduring. As you reflect on this affirmation, consider how your own struggles have shaped you into who you are today. What obstacles in your life, when approached with courage and resilience, could become opportunities for growth? By embracing this perspective, you align with the Stoic wisdom that sees every hardship as a chance to thrive. Moving forward, we will explore how the ability to remain calm amidst provocation plays a pivotal role in preserving inner peace. Moving forward, we arrive at the affirmation of embracing impermanence, a cornerstone of Stoic wisdom that reminds us of the transient nature of all things. Life is a continuous flow, and everything we experience is in a state of constant change. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on this truth, urging us to recognize that just as leaves fall and seasons shift, so too do the relationships, circumstances, and moments in our lives. By accepting impermanence, we allow ourselves to fully appreciate the present without clinging to what is fleeting. Consider the joy of watching a sunset. Its beauty lies not in its permanence but in its fleeting nature. The knowledge that it will fade makes it all the more precious. Similarly, in relationships, understanding that every moment with loved ones is finite can deepen our gratitude and presence with them. It encourages us to cherish time spent together, to forgive quickly, and to love deeply, knowing these moments will not last forever. On a broader scale, imagine how embracing impermanence can transform how we approach losses or endings in life. Whether it is the end of a chapter in our career, the passing of a loved one, or even the smaller changes we face daily, this perspective helps us find peace in the flow of life instead of resisting it. Rather than seeing endings as losses, we can see them as natural transitions that make way for new beginnings. Reflect on your own life. What changes have you struggled to accept? How might letting go of resistance to these changes bring you a sense of clarity and peace? By aligning ourselves with the reality of impermanence, we can live with greater freedom and fulfillment, embracing life for all its transient yet profoundly meaningful moments. With this understanding of impermanence, let us now turn to the affirmation that highlights the contentment found in needing less. Now turning to the conclusion, we find ourselves reflecting on the journey through these 20 Stoic affirmations. Each affirmation serves as a guiding principle, a compass leading us toward inner peace and clarity amidst the complexities of life. Stoicism teaches us that true tranquility comes not from external circumstances, but from aligning our thoughts and actions with wisdom, virtue, and reason. It shows us how to navigate life's challenges with resilience, to cherish the fleeting beauty of the present moment, and to embrace change as a natural part of existence. These affirmations are not mere words, but daily practices that can transform how we see and interact with the world. Whether it is learning to master our reactions, finding contentment in simplicity, or treating others with kindness and understanding, each of these principles holds the power to bring profound clarity and fulfillment to our lives. As you reflect on these affirmations, I encourage you to choose one that resonates most deeply with you. Practice it daily, let it guide your actions and thoughts, and observe the subtle yet significant ways it shapes your perspective and brings peace to your life. Remember, Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it is a way of living, a practical toolkit for thriving in both calm and stormy seas. If you found value in this exploration of Stoic wisdom, please share your favorite affirmation in the comments below. Let us know how you plan to apply it in your life. And if this philosophy inspires you, be sure to like this video, subscribe for more insights, and hit the notification bell to join us on this journey of growth and understanding. Thank you for being a part of this exploration. Let us continue together in the pursuit of a virtuous and fulfilling life.